Welcome back, cuties, to FUNRAVER and Friends. Today we are hosting our friends from Forest Fires Radio. These cats, let me tell you about them. They're seriously on fire, literally
Yo,
forest
yo.
fires. Ale Acosta.
What up, what up? My name's Ale Acosta. Really happy to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you, FUNRAVER, for having us.
We got Hazón here, Hazón and Ale
Awesome.
Acosta.
Pleasure to meet you, Jason. Pleasure.
We are so excited to have you guys. I'm excited because, not gonna lie, I've been a fan of your music for the longest. I've seen some of your sets. I've been supporting. These are two of my Colombian brothers out here on this
Hey.
Miami scene, literally killing it.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of you guys, and I
Wow,
just
thank you.
was so honored to have you guys do the mix. And now we're talking in conversation with FUNRAVER and Friends. So yeah, just super blessed to be connecting with you two and seeing you guys grow within the scene and everywhere. I have so much faith that the universe is going to bring you so many beautiful manifestations because you guys are just so
Wow,
talented.
thank you.
And I just want to give you your
That means a lot.
flowers. Yeah,
No,
for sure.
Thank you so much. That means a lot. We're honored to be here and to be a part of this great community. I'm really happy to be here. Thank you for having us, and thank you for those flowers. I feel like we hear it, but sometimes we don't really take a step back and realize what's going on, and it is a movement that we should be proud of. So thank you for that. You want to say something?
Nah, imposter syndrome is real, and so
Agreed.
Like I said, or like he said, the flowers mean a lot.
Of course. No,
And it's an honor coming from someone like you. You know, you're prominent in the community. You're
I love you guys.
established. You know,
Love you too.
Establish is the term, but I appreciate you guys also mentioning that, because we're all growing in our own little ways.
Oh, yeah.
And I think supporting one another is just the pillar of a community that's gonna be just flourishing. So I am excited because we're gonna have some questions for you guys, just talk about your journeys as artists and just have a little kiki, have some fun, drink, talk, and be in conversation.
Cheers.
Literally, cheers. I don't have a drink, but that's okay. I don't need that to be lit right now. I got my boys
Period.
right now, so we're
Yup.
good.
Woo!
All right, so literally, come through. I want to start off because I'm just interested in kind of taking a little sneak peek into y'all's relationship because I really think that you guys have such a strong bond. And
We really do.
it's just beautiful. I think it's really important to connect with people in the scene. But when I see two people working so well together, I think that's really important to encourage because that brings even more beautiful things into the scene, and we get great events, great sets from you all.
Hell yeah.
So my first question, I guess, would be, tell me a little bit more about how you guys met, how you guys started DJing together, and then maybe we can start trickling into the history of Forest Fires.
Okay. Yeah. So
so we've known each other for 15 years.
yeah, we met in elementary school. No
Yeah.
concept of
Just
electronic
children,
music,
just
just
children,
living
yeah.
life autopilot.
Yeah. Literally.
And then we were acquaintances, but we didn't really get close till high school. And I started DJing a while back, in middle school, and I would always kind of try to tempt Jason to join me and hey, let's go to raves, and trying to put him on. And it took a while, but eventually it happened.
Yeah.
And
Fun
yeah.
fact, Blejo DJ'd my 15th birthday party, at my grandpa's house. Yeah.
The quince?
My
quince
my quince, Blejo
Wait,
DJ'd.
you said at your grandpa's house?
At my grandpa's house,
Oh, that's
in the
so
backyard.
cute.
Yeah, bro.
What did you play?
Perreo.
Back then I was playing perreo. I was playing trap and I don't know, hip hop and stuff. I
It was
wasn't
literally a quince.
and big room house, like Hardwell and stuff. Yeah, no, the evolution is crazy when you really think of it. But yeah, we met like that, and I started taking him to raves, and then we started just DJing at my crib or at my boy's crib. He would have a party and we would just DJ it, and then I saw him fall in love with it as much as I am already in love with it, and we were just yo, let's pursue this, especially after talking to some other friends that really put it into perspective for us that's it's in reach, it's not so outlandish to think that you can really achieve your goals, and So we just did it. We did it, and we just went to a whole bunch of clubs and like really just shot our shot, and we got denied a whole bunch of times, and then eventually that one club gave us the chance. Shout out Treehouse, R.I.P.
Yeah.
Miss you.
Dude, we walked in there and we're like, hey, like we want a DJ. Like
Just like that.
by any
literally.
chance, are
yeah.
you guys whatever?
Vulnerable
we
as
talked to the right
hell.
people, and it just from there, yeah.
And then it just took off, and we started with Treehouse, and we had like our little residency there, and our style began to like flow better and better and better, and we were just like, hey, like this is only the beginning. We could see the potential from the beginning because one, we have a really good community of our friends who are supportive. Shout out everybody right here, right now. Shout out
y'all.
Jose, shout out Amy, shout out
Shout
Joe,
out y'all,
shout
shout
out
out
Rick, shout out Ro.
Shout out y'all.
Hell yeah, you guys are everything. For real, like from the beginning, we've had a great support system, and that means everything to us. And yeah, the Treehouse thing was like what 2 years ago already, and since then they've shut down. But like when that happened, they were kind of our only outlet like for getting gigs. So when they closed, we're like, okay, we gotta do something. And we figured out we have Forest Fires already doing like the radio show, so we figured like let's just do our own events.
We threw a fucking party.
And we
son.
book
threw a
ourselves, and we
party.
book our homies, and that community that we already had was obviously going to be present there at our own events. And it just kept growing, and like it was like a domino effect, like a snowball, you know? Because every week we have somebody new on the radio show, and that helps everybody. It's a win-win because our audiences are like meshing, you know? So, yeah.
Yeah.
So, oh my God. So from what I'm understanding, you presented him with the gift of DJing.
Absolutely.
You guided
yes.
him to it.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes.
See, like I personally feel that there are certain reasons we meet people. Like we're
Yes.
attracted to certain individuals in our lives, and
Absolutely.
like our lives converge because they're meant to teach us something important that's gonna like literally like help us blossom into the person we're meant to be. I'm like that. Okay, like yeah. Let's talk about that. I also think it's just beautiful that you guys kind of like were starting off as just friends at first, and then you know it kind of blossomed more into like a DJ career, like a collaboration, which trickles into my next question about how Forest Fires Radio started. Like, what's the history behind it? You were telling me a little bit about it backstage, but.
Yeah.
I want
In the green room.
The lore is important. We need to understand the lore of this like wonderful collective because we understand Forest Fires Radio. For anybody who is watching who are like wanted to have more information, Forest Fires Radio is also like not only a collective. You do your events, but you guys have the mix series, as you mentioned previously, highlighting artists. And you're about to be in volume 100.
Yes.
Which is seriously amazing because that means you've had almost 100 artists in the local community you're representing, giving them an opportunity to have a 1 hour mix where people can literally listen back. And I have had my mix with you guys, and let me tell you, this is the best feedback I've received
That
in a
shit was
mix.
crazy.
Yeah, because your community is on fire.
shit
Literally,
was
Forest Fires,
gas.
because you guys have such supportive people. Your cousin came up to me.
Tati?
At the
Shout out Tati. I know you're watching. I love you.
Yo, shout out Tati and her family because she was telling me about her little family and her son, was it?
Yeah, Kai.
So sweet. They're so cute. And so the point is, you guys have like a really good community and amazing work. Again,
Thank
me
you.
giving you your flowers.
Thank you so much.
Because 100 artists to be representing that in the local community, again, is super important. We all need that platform. And, we were able to get like gigs, if we highlight it with our community, people listen and they're like, oh, this person, I can book them,
Yeah.
It's yeah.
Friends that like we were able to like show that spot to, and like we're happy to say that like not because of the mix, but like they've obviously blossomed into like something way bigger. Like several friends, I won't name any, but like it's awesome to see that like that we're featuring them, blah blah blah, and
Right.
it just blossoms to something so much more because we were there once, like
Yeah.
we were just
Like the community is so strong that when we introduce somebody, everybody's like enticed, like they want to find out more, So like, yeah, I think continuing on that point, like we mentioned how we would just go to Treehouse and like shoot our shot, and like now people come to us to shoot our shot, and like that is amazing. It's a full circle moment. Yeah, like the fact that we get to put on the homies, the fact that we get to give people like their first big opportunity, that's crazy. And like, thank you for all the flowers you've been giving us, because to hear it, you know, it's really validating and it feels good. And like, thank you for that.
Jason, you were talking about imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
No, like I really want to hear your opinion on that, because like I think a lot of us, especially the DJs here that are growing, we still get gigs, we get like our little moment, but we still feel like we're not good enough, you know?
For sure.
And
for
like
sure.
you don't have to get too deep into it. Like, I mean, I'm always down for an emotional talk. Let's be real.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I would love to hear your opinion on that, because I think you mentioned it, and I think it's important to talk about it.
Yeah,
you know?
no, I can give you an example. We're playing on the ground in like a week. Pull up.
Pull up.
Pull up. Perreos Futuro. In like a week. I mean, dude, I never thought I'd be DJing the ground, and like it's been a dream of mine. It's been a dream of mine for Blejos for even longer.
It's a blessing.
Yeah,
and, like,
man, we're so grateful. We're
literally.
so honored. We're so excited. Yeah, man, it's crazy to think about. 2 years ago, like Blejo taught me how to DJ. I locked myself in my apartment for like 3 months. Taught myself how to DJ. Like, literally, I did not leave my apartment for like 3
We all
months.
have that
And,
moment.
It's just like, you know.
It's an honor. It's an honor that
Yeah.
that the community has like received us with like open arms. You know, like we've made a lot of great friends in the scene. So it's an honor for us. You know.
Yeah, and you know, I think it's just as you grow and you get more involved with your career, if that's the way that you want to look at it, which I think I encourage we look at it, because like we need to start taking ourselves like that seriously, put ourselves out there, like this is something we want to do. You'll learn to grow to like embrace that part of yourself that can doubt certain areas of your life, like, you know, your talent or your marketability or your branding. But in all, I really do believe that it's just about like sticking true to what you know, and you guys are doing a fantastic job at that. I just you know, I'm gonna just keep on complimenting you guys. Like, I don't know, it's just so great. It's
We're
so
cool
great.
with it.
It's so great to see. I'm glad, because it's so
Thank
great
you.
to see you guys grow. Because like, you know, we started off doing streams for you guys at MCR, and now I've seen the arc. And like I get to see that with a lot of my friends, a lot of the people in the scene. It's just such a pleasure. But I don't want to get too off topic, but like Forest Fires Radio again.
Wait. Sorry
Yeah.
to cut you off. Let's talk a little. I want to expand on the imposter syndrome.
Okay,
a little.
yeah, give me your opinion for sure.
So it's crazy because like I have a lot of artists in my life, like a lot of friends that just make art, whether it's music or whatever, and everybody experiences the same thing. And it's just not getting over it, because you're never going to get over it, but just learning how to manage it, and like knowing that this is really what you love. Like, you just got to pursue it, even if you have those moments of doubt. And it's crazy because I have the moments of doubt when like technically I should be feeling the most confident. Like, well, I had like the biggest release ever, like my first record label release, and like days later, I was just like feeling like, you know, like, what am I doing here? Am I really made for this? And that's just inevitable. I feel like that's just, as a society, we're just anxious people. And you got to get over that and just follow your passion. And that's something I try to tell all my friends. Because, like, yeah, like, it's really not, if you're doing what you love, like, what bad can come out of it? Like, even if you don't, quote unquote, make it or whatever, like, you're doing something you love. You're making a movement. You're inspiring people. You're like bringing people together through music, and that's a gift. Like, you know. So that's the way I feel about it. And imposter syndrome, like, you're just always gonna have to deal with it, and that's part of being an artist, I think.
People are always gonna have opinions, and I think it's like the way you look at it. It's just all that matters is what you think of yourself, and it's a journey. Everybody goes through it, but you know, focusing on your goals, like you mentioned, and like remembering to center back into the reason why you love this, what you're bringing, which is like an influence for your culture. I think that's also very important. But yeah, just to move forward, I wanted to also just expand more about like your history with Forest Fires. I know it would be just so interesting to know how this started. What was the concept like in the beginning, or the inspiration, you know?
So the idea came up, and I was like sophomore year of high school, and I was chilling with my friend Ant, who it's his birthday right now. Happy birthday, wherever
Happy
you
birthday.
are. And my good friend Georgie,
Yeah, happy birthday.
who's out in Asia for the Marines. Shout out Georgie. We were in this forest, and we were just having a grand old time. and we were not on psychedelics. And I was really like diving into the DJ thing like on my own, but I realized that there were a lot of my friends, including Aunt, including Georgie, including like Maria, you know, like a lot of my friends that had some sort of like artistic passion. And I just wanted to make like kind of like an umbrella collective for them all to be able to express that. That was just the initial idea. And I didn't know what I wanted to be called, but I just knew I wanted something for like a brand and kind of a collective for people to rep and like be a part of and be able to just drop whatever they want to drop and like have it shared and try to build everybody up collectively through it. And the name came up because we were in the forest and my friend Ant suggested that we only drop that fire, so it had to be Forest Fires Radio. So yeah, and that idea came up, and as soon as I heard the name, I'm like, yeah, that's it, 100% Forest Fires Radio.
It works so well.
But we didn't act on it for like another 4 years. The idea just stayed like up in the air, like things weren't right in my life and like just in general for me to like devote the time and the energy and the love to it that like it requires, because like let's be real, like it requires a lot of energy and devotion. So I just had it up in the air as an idea, and years later we found the inspiration after a trip to Ginny Springs, like another foresty area.
Shout out to Ginny Springs.
Shout out Ginny Springs, yeah.
Ginny Springs is like so nice. I agree. Yeah.
Beautiful moment. And we realized that we needed to chase this, like whether we make it or not, whether it's successful or not. Like we'd rather try and fail than like not try at all. And yeah, and then we started doing it. And like the first 10 episodes were just me and Jason. Every week we would like rotate. Like I did volume 1, he did volume 2. I got volume 3, he got volume 4. Boom, boom, boom. And then eventually we tried to like do the dropping every week, but like eventually it was just us, and we were like, yo, we can't keep up with it. So we have to like outsource and like network and meet new people. And that's where Miami Community Radio came in for real.
Clutch.
Because I came in here and I met everybody there was to meet. And everybody was super cool, like super grateful for like the reception we got. And I feel like that's just because like they met us and they realized like we're really in here for the right reasons, you know?
Right.
So
it's a great platform
to
uplift a lot of artists. I wanted to hear, you guys were like did the first 10 mixes or so. What type of music did you play? Like in the mixes,
dude,
like
what
was the sound
everything.
like?
I'm poly jammers. Like I play anything. I play everything. Yeah. Yeah. At first I started out playing Jersey, faster shit. Then honestly, like booking started coming in for tech house.
Yeah.
So I definitely moved towards tech house. Now I kind of just play everything. You know, I play like the fast, like perreo shit,
As
like the
we
neo
heard,
perreo.
as we heard from the mix previously, you guys are killing it.
But like for example, at Jolene, I played house, like
got range.
Yeah.
That's important. We gotta have range. It's super important. No, it's just fantastic. I really love seeing the growth. It's so cool. You guys started off doing the mixes by yourselves, and like there's that moment where you have like a dream or like a goal in your head, right?
Yeah.
And you don't act on it for years. And like, even like I ask myself, why haven't I acted on certain things? And then once you get past that, it's like, there's like a light bulb moment, you know? And you're like, I need to do this. Like, because if I don't, I'm just going to like think about it every single day. What if I didn't do this, or what if I did do this? And I'm glad that you guys did go through with that, even if it just did take 4 years, which is a long time, but not really, because time is like, what is time, honestly? It worked out. And now, and like, it's the perfect timing because Miami Community Radio was also coming up on this arc, and that was the year, I believe that was the year that they did 3 points.
Yes.
Yeah, and so it kind of like bounced back in a way where it really put us on the radar, and it just like, it was perfect timing, you know, and you guys found that balance. So it's just super cool. I'm gonna look at my list of questions. Okay, so My next question, your experience. What has your experience been growing as an artist in the Miami scene? And I know you've recently gone to Colombia. I know you guys have done gigs outside of Miami as well, but and we can talk about that if you'd like. But specifically growing in the Miami scene, you guys are locals, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Local Miami people. Let's go. Yeah, talk about what that's been like. How has that affected you? Like, some people find Miami super competitive. Some people vibe with Miami. Some people have like their issues. Let's spill the tea. Let me hear what you guys think.
For us personally, I mean, I think the scene has welcomed us, I would say, with open arms, really. And again, we're super grateful for it. And, you know, like the way we've approached it is that, like, you know, you only put into the scene, you don't take from it, you know. And like I said, like, we've made a lot of new friends. We've made a lot of great friends in the scene. Shout out Rolly, shout out Tamsin, shout out all of them, shout out everybody.
Yep. Also great, talented DJs, producers. Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I can only speak for myself. But my experience, you know, in the Miami music scene has welcomed me with open arms. As far as forest fires, I would say the same. You know, like, yeah, you know.
No, 100%. I agree with Jason, and everybody has been super cool. Everybody has been aligned with what we're trying to do. Really, everybody's kind of trying to do the same, and I feel like that's why the community is so natural. And like, I step out one night to go support a friend, and like I'll run into like 10 people I know. Like that. That's amazing. That's amazing. Like, everybody's supporting each other. Really is a community. And that kind of, not that it changed, but we saw a different side of it when we started doing our own events. Because it's one thing to DJ an event, and it's another thing to throw an event.
Yeah.
Totally different.
Oh, the pressure.
Yeah, no.
There's two different pressures.
A whole
you know?
new list of challenges, but like,
Right.
it's just as rewarding, you know, like, and to watch it all unfold. But I definitely, you were mentioning like competitiveness in the scene, and I feel like it's a friendly competitiveness. You know, I never think, at least I haven't experienced like hostility, you know. I feel like it's
Okay,
more
good.
just like, let's inspire each other to be better.
Yeah. What were you gonna say, Jason?
No, I was gonna say exactly the same. Like, as far as like, it's always been friendly competitiveness, and then like, you know, it's never been hostile, like you said. It's
Yeah.
Never. At least we've never experienced that.
Good. It's always like an edge of competitiveness, but overall very supportive.
Yeah.
I'm very happy for
And
you.
I feel
You're
like
doing
that's-
great.
That's why people are able to dive in, you know, head first into it. Yeah, like, for example, Hyper Pedro, Xavi, he's doing his thing. And
Amazing work.
He's dove head in, like, head first, you know, and I feel like that's, you know, that says something about the scene, you know. It's
Yeah.
very welcoming. If you're doing it for the right reasons, you know, and like,
Yeah.
authentically. You know?
Agreed. Yeah, and that's also a very good point. I think, you know, maintaining the intentionality behind event organizing, or even just DJing, producing even, making sure that you're doing it for the right reasons, and not just for the clout, not just for receiving the pros that come with it. But no, it's fantastic to hear that you guys like have felt so welcomed and so supportive. That's a really, I feel like that's a pillar that a lot of artists need, but also like a lot of artists don't really receive that in the beginning, you know? So to hear that is so refreshing, because like I know a lot of people also just feel like a little alone sometimes,
For
like they don't
sure.
have that community.
For
And
sure.
granted, we do have MCR, so that kind of helps with that. But that's really fun to hear. I wanted to ask, speaking of the scene, just I don't know, I like getting tea. I like getting tea from people. I like hearing what people have to say. Tell me something that you love about the Miami scene, and then tell me something that you dislike. I'm not gonna say hate, because we don't hate Miami. We love Miami, and then there are some things that we just don't like.
Okay, one thing I love that is something I mentioned already is just like the authenticity of the community, like the fact that you will see everybody supporting. Like I'll give you an example. Rolly played the 3 Points open house a few
Shout out
weeks
to
ago.
Rolly.
Shout out Rolly.
Shout out to 3 Points.
Yo, it was like a Getty at Floyd. I saw so many people, and everybody was just there because they knew how important this night was for Rolly, and they needed to be there. So that's my favorite thing. I would say that's a big pro. Damn, I don't know. I don't want to say a con, but like
You can be subtle. You don't have to be so direct. But I honestly just would love to hear what you think.
I hear you. I guess I think like certain circles are just, I don't dislike it, but it's just like an observation. Certain circles are like really cliquey, you know?
Clicky, yeah. Clicky
Yeah.
is a problem, I feel like, in a lot of areas, in a
Yeah.
lot of, not just Miami. New York can be clicky, even like Chicago, LA, super
Right.
clicky. I agree.
It's not. It's just a people thing. It's not a Miami thing.
Right.
You know, it's just observations, like you said.
And you know, it's like interesting because like we can still be supportive, but there are certain circles that I think people, specifically queer people, feel a little bit more comfortable running in. You know, so it seems like it's clicky, but there's also that conversation around like, no, this is my safe space, right?
Yeah.
So we can look at it in various ways, but I do agree that there's like, and I think that's where I kind of incorporate like the competitive edge, where like there's just certain circles where like you just, you know, you maintain your distance, but you're still supportive, and you understand that, you know, some people vibe and some people are just like, you know, doing their own thing, and then you do your
Yeah,
own thing, which is
100%.
important that you're doing Forest Fires Radio, because now you have your own community, and I think as artists it's really important to cultivate communities, but it's totally fine if you think it's clicky, because it's the truth. What's wrong with saying
All right,
the truth?
It's your turn. It's your
you
turn.
know,
You gotta get the tea now.
give the tea. What's the
Ditto.
tea? Pour me a hot
No,
one.
Ditto everything. Ditto
Yeah,
everything.
nah, you gotta give one. It's something like maybe adjacent to it, but it doesn't have to be necessarily the same thing. Cause like, for example, I will say it, one thing I dislike about the Miami scene is like the lack of venues, the lack of spaces that are accessible for organizers. It doesn't have to be something like too nitty gritty. Like that's something that we all, even as DJs or event organizers, can agree. It's sometimes hard to get good spaces that don't like fuck you in the ass. Sorry. Or like just like, it's just like, you know, there's like pros and cons to certain areas, you know, and so that's why shout out to dear Eleanor. We have this space. I love this space. But that it can be that thing, you know.
Yeah.
That's me, but I don't hear what
Okay.
you have to.
No, I mean, definitely as an event organizer, I would say ditto. Yeah, some of these bar minimums are crazy, man.
Oh my god, it's insane.
Some of these bar
Insane.
minimums are crazy.
They think they're hot
like,
shit, for real.
Yeah,
Like-
yeah, and it's like, shit, like, I don't know, but yeah, I would say, but again, that's as an event, an event organizer, you know, struggles, right?
Mm-hmm.
Something I love about the scene, I don't know, man. It's fun, you know, it's competitive. Like you said,
Yeah.
it's competitive, like you kind of like push each other to be better, you know, like everyone, me and Blejo, like we push each other to be better every day, you know, like he pushes me, he pushes the shit out of me
Yeah.
to be better all the time.
Talk about it. Talk about it.
Yeah,
Talk about
yeah,
it. How does he
yeah.
support you?
You know what? Exactly, and it's that
How?
support. And then there's days where I support him, you know,
Yeah.
but you know, it's that.
Good.
And like I said, we've built that community, so it's not just with me and Blejo, it's with a lot of our peers.
Okay.
You know, we want the best for our peers. You know, we're gonna keep pushing them to push for more until they reach, you know, that.
Right. That's good.
Just like us, you know, like can't settle. You gotta, you know.
I agree. And you know what? It's just, we can always have our dislikes or our likes of wherever we're going to be, but we just have to be able to make the best of it. And again, like centering a community where you feel safe, where you feel supportive it's just like what I think most artists would need in this point. Because
Absolutely.
like, you know, you can get a good venue, but if like you don't have community, what's the point? You know?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, so just maybe veering into a little bit more personal goals of yours. So any dreams or any goals that you guys have as an artist, you know, for yourself or even for Forest Fires. I would love to hear anything that like we're just talking to our friends at this point, so like you guys can just like be wild. Tell me what your dreams are. I would love to hear it because I love that we talked about earlier, you know, you're going to be performing at the Ground.
Dream
2 years
come
ago,
true.
that was probably something that you guys were like, dude,
Like,
this is a fucking
dreaming
dream.
of, no,
yeah, you're dreaming of it.
absolutely, literally
And-
dreaming of it.
And then you
like,
manifested that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, don't think that it's too far away or that it's not possible.
Yeah.
And that's why I want to encourage you guys to like speak it, say into words.
Yeah.
I mean, because like, who knows? Maybe in a few years you'll look back and be like, shit.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
Sure. I want to own a club, man.
I
That's
love
a personal
that.
goal of mine. I want
What?
to own a club and throw some crazy.
Jason, the
ass
club
parties.
owner?
Yeah.
Oh
like,
man, that would go mad hard.
honestly, I just want to own a club and have the best DJs come through, and that's a personal goal of mine.
Here in Miami?
Probably. Like, where else but Miami? You know, like.
Right. Okay.
You know.
That would be hot to get like,
Yeah,
you know, like
yeah,
we were
yeah.
just talking about inaccessible spaces.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. I don't know if you guys
Cool.
ever seen Griselda. There's a scene where like she's hanging out with like the club owners, and they're like probably the green room, but they're just like super chilling, and the club is like candela. The club is
Yeah.
banging, and they're just
That
there
sh-
like
that was
talking business
crazy.
or whatever. I don't know, man.
That's the life
So
you deserve.
yeah.
Oh my god, what type of music would you play in your club?
Everything.
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 So would it be
everything.
like,
Techno, dance hall, reggae?
okay,
like
you'd have like your events and shit.
bachata, yeah,
Love
like
that.
everything.
Oh, people would go crazy. Okay.
De todo. I think as an artist, I have always had the dream to play at Space. Sorry, excuse me. The ground is a dream come true. I want to play the Terrace one day. That is my biggest dream. And it's gonna happen.
And it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen, and we're gonna look back to this interview.
Watch.
I'd love to play Floyd. Just put it out there. I want to play 3 Points.
And it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
I had a conversation with Ale about 3 Points, and I feel like my spidey senses are tingling. Like you two are getting there. It's yeah, me too. I would lose my home. I'm kidding. Honestly, I would. I fuck hard with that shit. Yeah, no, I seriously
Thank you.
believe
Yeah,
it.
we gotta manifest it. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Yeah, so those are some of my personal goals. As for forest fires, one day I want to do forest fires. Right, we just take over the world. We take over the world. That's it. That's the goal. No, I want to do a Forest Fires Festival one day.
Beautiful.
FFF.
That's actually, I love that.
Yeah.
I have friends who have done their own like DIY festivals, and like the community really pulls out. That's
Yeah.
actually a very, very amazing goal.
I would
You
love to
guys
do
should
that.
yeah.
Especially since
Please.
something we pride ourselves in is having diversity in the music
Okay.
we showcase. Meaning we could have like multiple stages of just like different sounds, and obviously it's gonna take a long time to like reach like a level to be able to produce an event like that. But that's a dream I have, and something we gotta work towards. Cause I'm picturing like, you know, like my homies who are in bands like in one stage, and then my DJ friends in another stage, and like just a whole
Right.
bunch of stuff going on, and
Giving
it's literally a
everyone an
festival.
opportunity.
And we have enough talent to do it. It's just more like logistics and like money.
Yeah,
But yeah.
finding a venue.
Right.
But Florida has a lot of great places to do festivals.
Yeah.
It's definitely plausible, and I think that's a great goal to have. I would totally attend a Forest Fires Festival. That
Hell
sounds
yeah.
hard. That goes hard
Hell
as
yeah,
fuck.
hell yeah.
Yes.
FFF.
Hit me up, because I
sure.
love planning.
Probably
for
be
that
DJing it.
FUNRAVER stage.
Yeah.
No, seriously. I just want to now we're talking about festivals. Shout out to my sister, the movement goddess Amy, who is performing at Halloween currently.
Shout out.
This is like her 3rd year performing. And I just want to put her out there. If you ever need an aerialist or anybody for a festival, she probably would tear that shit up. But like, I love the concept of a festival because I think that it's an opportunity again to like highlight local artists and showcase like what you want to do as an event organizer. I think every event organizer's dream is to do a little festival, have a little festival moment. And I mean, I think it's definitely super, super plausible again. You guys could definitely do something like that.
100%. And I'd like to add that like festival culture is probably the main reason that I like fell in love with electronic music. Like the music obviously hooked me, but attending festivals, watching the culture, and like watching the power of DJs. I was like 14 years old, like really impressionable.
Tell him.
I went to Ultra. My first Ultra, I was like literally 14 years old.
Thank you. Oh, I love when people talk about their ultra experiences.
14 years old. I had no business being there. And then MC.
Tell him.
MCR exclusive. Ale Acosta got arrested at Ultra.
Oh. You got roped? Oh,
I got roped.
Oh,
Yeah, so I went like 1 year, and that was when it was all ages. And then the second year I went, they like were like, no, 18 plus, and I was like,
And
nah.
they said, get the fuck out
I
of
was
here.
like, hell nah. So I snuck in the first day, and then the second day I tried like the same spot, and they were waiting for me. Like they were just posted
They
up.
were like, this
they
little,
knew who I was.
little,
Yeah,
get him
put the
outta
cuffs
here.
on me immediately, and then yeah. But
this little kid needs to get the hell out of here.
it's always a funny story because it's just like I wasn't doing drugs back then or anything. Like I was like, no, I'm serious. Like no, I was just going to Ultra because I
He was just
loved
enjoying the music.
Like I just
Your
wanted
drug-
to see DJ. I
Your
promise
drug was
you.
music. Your drug
Yeah,
was music.
like I'm what?
Your drug of choice was music, guys. Yeah.
I was a sober kid. Like I was
Yeah.
not going to Ultra doing like a whole bunch of stuff.
I believe you.
I thought this was a safe space.
So you went to Ultra, and that was your experience at 14. And you said,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a festival. I'm gonna keep it real. And you just wanted to do a festival, and you went. Yeah, and that of course was like definitely like a moment. I believe like maybe like your brain chemistry just got rearranged, and you're just like,
Yeah.
what is this?
No, 100%. I'm like 14 in
Baby
downtown
Brejo
Miami.
just out.
Literally 14 years old, and I'm watching like 20,000 people jump to like one dude on stage, like on
Who did you
CDJs.
see?
Bro, 2014, it was like Tiesto
Yeah.
and like Hardwell. Like I was like into like big room house back then.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like that 1, 2, 3 jump like type shit. Like, and I look back on it and it's so cringe, but like.
But that's what got you
That was
into
the
it.
pillar. Yeah, that's what brought me into it. And then.
Oh, shout out to house music. It really is the pillar for a lot of us.
Facts. Shout out to Ultra for real.
Shout out to
Ultra. Because I started off in Ultra like the main stage, and then eventually like I wandered to the other stages, and I
Yeah.
walked past like the mega structure, which was like bass stuff
Yeah.
and like, you know, drum and bass, dubstep, trap, Jersey, like
Yeah.
Jersey stuff, and like then I walked past the mega structure, who was like tech house, like Marco Carolla, Carl Cox. So I was exposed to all the different types of subgenres real early, and then I just kind of navigated my way through, and like eventually to this day I still feel like I hear every single genre era that I like lived, just kind of in my own way. You get me?
Yeah.
Like I'll take something from the dubstep world and like bring it to the house world, or vice versa.
It's important to have eras as a DJ, I think, because I don't know. I just like think it's important because you get to taste a little bit of everything and decide for yourself what type of DJ you want to become. No hate to like the people who just play one genre. This is just personally me speaking. I like appreciate a DJ that can like be open format or can like mix in some crazy shit with like I don't know. Like yeah, a lot of us like hate on like the big room house, but overall I feel like that's what gets a lot of people in the scene. That's what gets people playing on the decks, you know, and that's what people hear in the first few like years of their DJ career, even their production career. And I feel like we have to give, you know, the credit to that. I've had religious experiences, spiritual experiences, in fact, at the mega structure during Carl Cox set. No, seriously. No, let me tell you about these two European guys. And I knew they were European because they were shirtless and they were buff as hell. They had their like, little sunglasses. They were just like, dancing. It didn't really even look like they were moving. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And like, I was just like, right next to them, and then I was just like, yo, everybody's just out here vibing. It's just such a beautiful experience, and like, you know, festival culture is fun. It can also be a little dangerous, not gonna lie, like, but it can also just be super enlightening for a lot of people who are trying to like understand where their place is in the electronic scene or just music in general. I know it's changed me personally speaking. No, it's great to hear. I think the goal of having a festival definitely possible, and I think that you're gonna definitely do it one day. If you guys just keep on like going at the rate that you are, it's definitely super, super possible. I encourage you guys to definitely keep that in mind.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I don't know. I feel that would go hard. A lot of people would like definitely show out for that.
Yeah.
No, of course, yeah. So any future projects that you have coming up, I would love to hear about it. And maybe anything that you want to like give a little sneak peek into, not too much, because I know you guys like wanna. I don't want to use the word there's like only certain things you want to like give out because you know you can't just keep you can't keep giving a cookie each and every time they ask. You got to make them wait. You got to make them be like, oh, you got to sit, you got to wait. Yeah. So anything that you have cooking up in the camping stove of Forest Fires Radio.
First and foremost, we've been booked for all of 2024 for like the last 4 months since May. So
we had the whole schedule for the year.
until the end of the year.
Wow.
Yeah, super grateful. We've been holding off on like contacting anyone, on accepting any submissions, but we are officially opening submissions for 2025 soon, probably in the next week or two.
You heard that.
Yeah, we'll make a post. We're gonna do the whole email thing, submit a set, a mix, and yeah, we're looking for people to feature next year.
Okay.
Like again, we do like to shine a light on like small talent, local talent. We're opening submissions as far as for lineups, for sets. We're gonna be doing Sundays? Every week, Saturdays next year. Same way we've been doing it this year. Yeah, we've had a lot of people hit us up. We want to like officially announce like we're gonna be accepting submissions in the next week or two. And yeah, send in your work. We'd love to meet all the new artists, all the up and coming artists. That's our whole thing.
Definitely just trying to expand Forest Fires next year in terms of our audience and in terms of our production, the way we deliver the episodes. Maybe try to get some video involved because we're just doing SoundCloud now, and it's been amazing. But we wanna bring a new aspect, a new dimension to it. We're celebrating our 100th episode, December 28th at Jolt Radio. Yeah. Everybody's invited, including you.
Yay. I'll be there.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're just celebrating the movement we've created, and it's insane that we're about to reach 100 episodes. Expanding on what you said about next year, like we want to give that platform to those new artists that we haven't been able to showcase so far. But also we want to take some leaps and try to reach out to some bigger names as well that like are more established, and it's like it's kind of back to us shooting our shot now. Like, yes, we've established some sort of like community and platform, and we still want to help everybody. That's still always going to be the goal. But now to grow still, we want to not only be in that position of like giving, but also, hey, like trying to expand and reaching those bigger names. Like, yeah, like not being scared of asking some names that you would usually be scared of. And I feel like with the stuff that we've done in the past year and with the community we've grown, like we feel more confident doing that, and that's awesome. Yeah. Like you had for FUNRAVER last week, Alero and Isa Blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like amazing music, like crazy.
Yeah.
And we were chilling with him, with them at the Hyper Perreo show, and like usually I would be kind of in my head like, well, am I gonna try to network right now? And it just happened like naturally because I felt like, hey, like we have, like I kind of feel like I have something to present now with Forest Fires.
Yeah.
And not to sound like cocky or anything, but it's just like that's our baby, and like we've put in the work, and we've like gained the community, and so many people are behind what our goal is. So I feel like it's easy to kind of try to just spread that,
right?
To new audiences.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's the biggest goal for 2025, just reaching new heights, reaching new audiences, not being scared of asking like new artists, like what's the worst that can happen? They could just say no, you know, and we move on.
And surprisingly, a lot of people are very interested in like collaborating with new collectives or new DJs, they want to reach out and get to know you. Shout out to Alero and Isa Blue. They sweethearts, literally great people. Currently on tour, and it's like meeting people that you really admire in person, that have brought such a wave to a certain genre in the DJ community, even the electronic music community. And I understand like meeting just like other DJs that you admire can be like intimidating, and like you feel again like that imposter syndrome, like you're like, what am I to offer them? But overall, like, it's really important to kind of like gauge yourself and look at all the work that you do in your community and be like, actually, yeah, I think that, we should be meeting because like I have a lot to offer. You have a lot to offer. Let's see what we can work on together, or what we can accomplish if like we just meet each other. It's also just fun to network, but networking is like also just like getting to know someone and
just
talking.
Yeah. Just talking, like, having a normal conversation. And like eventually you realize that your goals are aligned, and it's like, hey, how about we work together? Like, we're both trying to do the same thing. Like, two minds are better than one,
There's this mantra that I'm trying to tell myself often, and it's there is no competition. And I tell myself in the way that there is no competition because there's only one me, right? And so there's only one me. There's only things that I can bring, right? And so in terms of competition, why do I have to look at it that way? If what I bring is so unique, what you bring is so unique, what they bring is so unique, and you look at it that way. And I think that really helps with the imposter syndrome, because I also suffer from it quite a bit, and that's important to acknowledge, like when you're like, this isn't real, I'm good enough, or like, oh, I gotta work on some things, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I've heard you should never put two bad bitches against each other. So that's how I feel. Like,
that's
like
a good one.
Your thing is your thing, and other people's things are their things, and like there's space for everybody to grow. Everybody's a baddie. Yeah.
We're all baddies in our own way. Literally, Miami is full of baddies. Literally, the biggest scene I've seen of baddies that I've seen here. Literally, I've seen them like the two baddies here. I'm quite a baddie myself, but we got a baddie right here too. We got so many baddies in the room. They're literally and the scene. Like, I'm blessed to be surrounded by all the baddies. But I guess moving forward, do you have any advice for any people in the scene based on your experiences? And we all have something to share. I think we all have learned a lot of things as artists. What is your advice if you're talking to someone who, I guess, not starting off, but like maybe was in a position that they want to grow in the scene, they want to start getting more bookings, or they just want to showcase and platform themselves a little bit more? Or you can also look at it in a way like advice for someone who is experiencing these like negative thought patterns about themselves, like that imposter syndrome, or not feeling like they have a community. I like asking people these questions because like I think it's important for us to receive that support and hear what other people think, because we all go through that, and it's important for us to feel that we're not alone, and to talk about these things and realize that it's important to just gauge that connection with the people. So yeah, I'd love to hear what you guys think.
Yeah, 100%. It's a very valid feeling that I'm sure most people feel, and something that we deal with all the time. Like
all the time.
All the time.
All the time, yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
Like that's
Real.
natural. But like
Real.
there's also very great moments, and that's just a part of life. Like, music aside, there's always gonna be ups and downs. But the thing with music and like this path that we're choosing is that it's very, I don't want to say it in a negative way, but like risky. Like, like in terms of like, I'm sure my parents didn't want me to be like a DJ, but hey, like it's my life and this is what I love. And like, as opposed to like something like being a lawyer, like a doctor, or like whatever,
No voy a ser doctor.
Exactly.
Quiero ser DJ.
No, yo soy DJ, mommy. But like, you just have to, if it's really what you love, just never stop chasing that passion and that dream. And like, obviously you gotta like do what you gotta do to survive in this world. Like, everybody's got their 9 to 5 until you can like really focus 100% on music. But do what you gotta do, make it happen. Get that cracked version of Ableton. do whatever you gotta do. Like, like nobody's gonna do it for you.
You gotta do it yourself.
You gotta do it yourself. But when you start doing it yourself, people latch onto that, and everybody wants to collab, and they want to help you, and you're gonna want to help them, and it's a snowball effect, and it's beautiful. But you just gotta take that first leap of like doing it, and that took me years to do. So I'm telling you, like, just do it. Huh?
Yeah.
What you, Jason? What's your advice for the people?
Networking is very important.
Agreed.
Creating those authentic relationships. We're all humans, whether we're throwing the biggest parties or the smallest parties or DJing here or DJing there, like just come authentic, show up, show face. That's a part of the game, honestly. A real piece of advice, like you got to show up, you got to network, you got to show face. The more you show up, the more people will remember you. And like it's kind of like the trials you have to go through. Like we went through our period of showing up to every event, and I thought you have to show up to every event. My point is that
showing up to the events that you want to support.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. It'll come back, and like again, just being authentic, showing up. That matters. That repost, that like, that comment, that matters.
People notice it.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, as organizers, as DJs, as like, you notice that, and yeah, just networking, being true to yourself. Like you don't want to make fake friends, make authentic friends, blah blah blah. But yeah, definitely showing up, being authentic. Blah, blah, blah.
Amazing. Okay. I have one more question, just because I'm just like super curious. I know Blejo, you produce. You have a couple productions that you're going to be, according to a little birdie that told me, you're gonna be dropping some productions for your upcoming show at the Ground.
Yes.
A little bit. You're gonna sprinkle something in. Which shout out, you guys are gonna be performing at the Ground. We mentioned that a little bit earlier. November 2nd.
November 2nd, this Saturday coming up. We're opening the night. It's an insane lineup. So get there early. We're playing 11 p.m. to 12:30. And like Victory mentioned, I'm going to be playing some originals, some collabs. And the songs I've dropped as of now have ranged from like house, right? First few tracks I dropped were house. And then I started going higher and higher in like the BPM scale. And now some are like Jersey, techno, like whatever. And now I feel like that side I'm going to get to showcase at the Ground. Because I'm not going to be playing house at the Ground. We're getting like arrebatado. Like it's going to be...
I used to beg this guy to go up past like 130.
Yeah.
And this is amazing that we're going to be playing.
Wow.
We've made progress, yeah.
You've seen...
Before, Jason would be like, can we please go to 135? And I'm like, nah.
No.
Nah,
Wow.
Papa, I'm
You've
sorry.
seen the growth.
We compromise.
Wow.
We meet each other halfway.
It also depends on the show, but we're going to tap into that
Okay.
on Saturday.
Cool.
Absolutely.
I love that. Oh my God. I'm just so excited for that show. Shout out to Saturn Sari. Shout out to Pero del Futuro.
Legends.
Legends coming through for the Ground. It's going to be the debut of Corredor. Huge producer and DJ from Colombia.
Yeah, Colombia.
Representing the Colombian people are here. We're here.
Hell yeah.
We're ready to take over. Sorry,
I'm gonna have the Olympica on like the 4C DJ ready. So like in the peak moments, you just hear, Olympica Stereo.
That's gonna be mad. I'm gonna bring my bandera. I'm gonna bring my flag. I'm gonna do it right behind you.
Please,
I'm
yes,
ready.
we need to.
I'm ready.
Corredor needs to see that like
we're
present.
here.
Yeah, we're
here. No, see, I am not. I am
We
not
ain't come to play.
ashamed of representing my Colombia because like, man, like. Shout out to my dad who was a DJ in the 90s and he came
no
from
way.
Colombia and he like played vinyl and like just like seeing the growth that just seeing that, I don't know. So I have that really close to my heart. knowing that I'm making that part of my heritage proud. And
Hell
so like
yeah.
I
That's
love
awesome. Wow,
supporting
I had
the
no
Colombian
idea.
peeps. Yeah, my dad was out here.
You're literally
Yeah.
like, he passed you the torch.
Yeah,
And
in a
you're
way.
like, all right, I'm doing it in Miami though.
In a way, he
That's
did.
awesome.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow,
But no,
that's
you guys
awesome.
are killing it with this debut at the ground. I'm so excited for that. We're definitely
too.
gonna be coming through. But just like to talk a little bit more about like your productions and like so you've been producing for how many years now?
So I started like messing around. I started DJing when I was like 13. Then I started I started messing around with Ableton at like 16, 17. But I was never confident enough. Like, so I was I would mess around and I'd be like, this is trash. Like, I'm just gonna close Ableton. And then like, I'd want to say like a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years, I picked it up again. And by then I had already like gotten some success with DJing. And I feel like the consistency with DJing helps with the confidence in producing. Because when I'm producing, I'm thinking like, okay, like there's certain things I do when I'm DJing that I can translate into my productions.
Right.
It's just like, instead of doing it on the mixer, I'm doing it on this laptop.
Right.
You get me?
Yeah.
I'm doing it in Ableton. But I can still do that like echo with the filter
Right.
or whatever, like on Ableton. So now it's just translating that. So consistent DJ gigs helped me with producing. And I started off just doing like bootleg remixes. And I just started dropping them. And I gave myself the goal of dropping a song this year every month.
Nice.
And I just stuck to that. And there were some times where like the month was about to end and like I was like, damn, I don't know if I want to drop this song. Like, I don't know. And I would just do it. I would just force myself to do it. And it worked out. Like the imposter syndrome would kick in of like, are these songs good? Are people going to like this? And you got to get over that. Like, do you like this? Is this something you are comfortable with putting out? No matter what the public opinion is going to be of it. And once I got that in my head, like, it's really like a freedom. Like, doesn't matter if so-and-so didn't like this track I just dropped because I like it.
You like it. It's
You
an
feel me?
extension of yourself.
It's just like I'm writing like a diary entry.
Right. That's
and
so
it's just
beautiful.
like, this is how I felt this day. Like, I'm going to put it out.
Exactly.
And sometimes that diary entry is going to pop off. Like, the song that I got signed with Mood Child, shout out Amanda Moore. Shout out Mood Child. Like, that was just like, I made that song like for the club. I was like, okay, I know this is going to bang in the club. And then I was just like, all right, let me send it out to a few labels. And they loved it. But I never would have thought that it would have reached what it reached, you know? Like, I just made that in my room. Like, okay, this is cool. I love this song. Let me remix it.
That's the thing. A lot of
And it just blew
producers,
up.
a lot of producers don't believe that they're able to just send out a track and then have it be signed. They just don't conceive that, okay, maybe like the sound would be good enough. But if you really do like work hard and even like get in contact with the RA like representatives that just like make a relationship with labels, I think it's really important for you to just believe in yourself and put yourself out there and make sure that you're constantly like you said, you were releasing like every single month. You were like giving yourself that goal, and that's a wonderful goal because like what is the point of just making music if you're just not going to release it? You know, you have to
100%.
push yourself. And that's something that I personally struggle with a little bit, just being honest. Like, as a producer, I'm still in that aspect where I'm like just keeping everything to myself because I'm afraid of what that perception is of my music now, that people are perceiving it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, of course.
You
It's
know?
a really vulnerable state to be in. Like, you put your time and work into it, and then people are gonna listen to it and have an opinion about it.
Yeah.
You know,
And
that's just the cold hard truth.
Yeah, but you know, the good thing about that is that there will be people that will like your music.
Yeah.
There will be people that will actually love your music, and then you can like use that as proof that you're a good producer, you're on the right path. And granted, I feel like that's what's happening right now with not only you but a bunch of like producers that we know in the scene. Like, you know, they pump out the music and that's literally what's giving them the opportunities. And like, it's just like a really cool cycle to see like people really delving into their artistry and learning how to like push themselves in that aspect. Jason, I know that you want to start producing as well.
Yeah, I'm sitting on a
good.
few tracks.
Yeah,
but
you are.
yeah.
Okay, so you've started your producer journey already.
Yes.
How long have you
yes.
been doing this?
On and off, I would say for about a year.
Okay,
You know,
cool.
Blejo is a mastermind as
Yeah.
far as producing. He's taking me under his wing.
Okay,
Same
cool.
way he did with DJing. But yeah, like I said, I'm sitting on like 7, 8 tracks complete that I just haven't dropped.
Okay.
Both collabs and solos, but yeah, it's getting over that hump, like
Okay.
that like.
What's your what would you say is like your style in terms of production? Like what type of music do you like to produce?
140, 150,
Okay.
like club shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was like on more the Latin side? Because that's like I hear what you guys play often.
Yeah, I would say I definitely like dive into that.
Okay,
know.
cool.
Shout out IMVT. I used to play house all the time until I heard IMVT.
Cool.
And I was like, they blew my mind. I watched them on Miami Beach. Blew my mind. I was like, oh, okay, it's not just house, because like I said, like I wasn't into house until very recently. As far as like electronic music, I would say into like the last 4 years, 5 years. And so it was always house because of Blejo. Like that's primarily what we listen to, right?
Right.
But then I saw IMVT and they completely blew my mind, blah, blah, blah. So I aspire to make music like they do. They make some fucking bangers. And
Yeah.
I would say I lean towards that,
No, I think it's important to also just like find artists that inspire you, and that like you can
Absolutely.
use as
Yes.
like some sort of a reference point
Yeah,
to be like,
absolutely.
this is a sound that I like. This is a sound that I like. Let me make my own little thing, Okay, well, I honestly feel like we talk a lot about a lot of things today.
Yeah,
I'm
this
very,
was good.
very,
This
very
was good.
happy that we discussed your journeys as artists and how Forest Fires began, and even a little bit more about like your upcoming events, your goals, as well as like your production styles or like what you guys have cooking up soon. Do you guys have anything that you want to mention or any questions or anything before we sign off?
November 2nd, the Ground debut, Perreo El Futuro. We're playing 11 to 12:30. Pull up early, leave late.
Yes.
We have a few other shows coming up. Shout out Gabe, our manager. Hit him up if you want to book us.
Hit them up. Taking bookings for 2025. You heard it.
And December 28th, free party. It's a celebration. It's just a celebration of us, of our goals, of the community. Just celebrating everything, in general.
Amazing.
And yeah.
It's going to be at Jolt Radio, the last Saturday of the year, volume 100 of Forest Fires Radio. We hope to see you there. No, I just like to thank you really for having us here. This was awesome, honestly. We haven't done this. I don't think we've ever done this, and this is awesome. Like we,
Good. I'm
everything
happy
we
to hear
talked about
that.
today, like we know, but kind of like in the back of our heads, but saying it is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
You get me?
Yeah. It's good.
It's kind of crazy.
It's good. I think it's important. I really believe that archival is survival. I believe that getting to know your community members and talking about their journeys and asking them questions is how we grow. And I've always just been so interested in learning about how you guys have grown and managed and like just learning about your artistry, and I think that's our goal with FUNRAVER and Friends this season, creating a space where we can take people who are majorly influencing the Miami scene specifically and giving them a space to talk about their journey, about who they are, their history. So they're not just like people that you have parasocial relationships on social media or that you just see at gigs, or at
Right.
bookings or parties that you go to. It's important to know who they are and how they started, and I guess like also give them that platform so they can process and talk about how amazing they are and how like they're influencing and just popping the fuck off. You know what I mean?
Thank you so much.
Of course. No.
No, honestly, it means the world to us.
Yeah.
It's an honor for us to be here talking to you.
You guys are so sweet. Yeah.
No,
And
for
the
sure.
lore. I always
The
talk about this.
lore.
The lore. It's just
Should we tell them?
yeah.
All right. Me and Victory first met when it was my first episode of Forest Fires Radio on MCR. And Victory was in charge of my programming that day. And like MCR was running a little behind but it was my first episode, so I didn't know.
Yeah, that story.
That story. I didn't know. I thought it was like a festival or like a show that like if my set time is like 10 p.m. and I get on at 10:30, like I'm just losing whatever time I'm losing. So Victory set was like kind of bleeding into my set, and I was like, hey, like it's time, you know.
No, babe. You came through. You were like, excuse me.
I was like, hey, y'all, like I'm supposed to be on right now.
He was very strict about it.
I was standing on business.
Thinking about it now, love the energy, love the
I'm
delivery.
so sorry.
But it was just the wrong moment because we were playing. The last song was this beautiful choral song that like just means the world to
I'm
me.
so sorry.
And Blejo came up. He's like, yo, you're gonna run in my time. And I'm just like, yo, listen, I'm running your operations. You need to chill. And like to me, it was like MCR usually kind of just does run late, and we just like deal with it. We just run with it. People are usually cool about it. So it was kind of cute to see that you were like, I need to do my set.
Yeah, I know.
You were so about it because like I'm like the professionalism is there, but I'm just like I'm not the one.
Like, relax. No, and it's funny because I felt like shit immediately. Like afterwards, I was like, yo, I'm so sorry. Like we haven't even met, and this is your first impression of me. Like I'm so sorry.
It's a little hard to be an asshole to the person who's running your stream.
Oh no, and I didn't even know. I thought you were just another DJ.
No.
Honestly, like
you didn't expect it to be me.
I thought you were just a DJ, and this was your slot. And I was like, dude, don't be selfish. Like it's my And then it's funny because like that happened, and I was like, wow, like they're gonna hate me. Like they're gonna hate me.
And they didn't.
And then afterwards, I remember like as the set went on, I would like look over at you, and you were like you were vibing with it.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, I'm like, hey, I'm really sorry again. Like let me like.
I love that you like gave an apology. I was just like, yeah, he's actually like he's real. You know, like he like I knew that you weren't an asshole after that. I was just like, no, he was just standing on business, and like I appreciated that. And then like I got to know you more, and then I saw you actually play more on MCR, and then like I got to know like your sets, and then I met freaking Jason, who's like y'all two together is like firecrackers, and now you're here. And I think it's just the lore is really funny because you never know. Oh my god! And then you came to my birthday party, and I just was not expecting that. You came to my birthday party with Maria, and you guys like saw me fire spin, and that was just like a moment.
That was a great time.
Yeah, that was really sweet. I was just like, you never know. You just never know who's gonna be like present in your life, who'll come back, who leaves, and like. Yeah, it was just so sweet. The arc is cool.
That time that we randomly ran into each other at Cold Stone.
Stop. There's a Cold Stone right by my house.
Yeah.
There's a Cold Stone right by my house.
Shout out to Cold Stone in Pembroke Pines.
I went with my freaking parents, my whole family, my sister, my two parents.
Yeah.
We were like, we're gonna go get ice cream.
I was with Jose.
That's right.
And we were zoo, and I was like,
you guys got ice cream, and then they were like, you guys said hi to me.
Yeah, I saw you in front, and I was like, I'm not hallucinating. That is Victory from MCR.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go say hi, and I went and said hi to you in front of your parents, and I was like really high. I'm not gonna lie, so
it's okay.
I felt a little awkward, but yeah, you know, like when you see somebody in public and you don't know if you gotta say hi. I feel like when you don't, like you feel like shit after.
Yeah,
you know.
I
I was like, I don't want to start that with us.
If
I see, especially after, I was like, if I see you, like. I'm gonna say hi,
yeah,
like, you know. I'm not gonna.
No, I love that you said hi to me because, like, I do this thing where I just don't notice people sometimes.
You just be in your own,
I'll be in my own world, and I'm like with my family. I'm like,
you're ready for the Cold Stone. I'm
ready for that Cold Stone.
Yeah,
I was ready for that small, little Cold Stone. Freaking like cake batter ice cream with rainbow sprinkles. I was ready for that shit.
Shout out Jose, catching them Z's right now. He can't even hear me right now, but he put me on.
Yeah, you guys went to Old Cold Stone. That was so sweet, but. Amazing work what you guys are doing. Just to wrap things up.
Yeah.
The lore is cute and all, but I really just want to say thank you to you all for coming, playing your set, and
thank you for having us.
Yeah, coming through and like having a little interview. I love talking with you guys and learning more about your journey. Yes, I am so grateful, so grateful, and I expect to see wonderful things from you all, and can't wait to see your growth. Really, sincerely.
Thank you so much. No, for real, it means the world to us. Thank you for having us. Thank you for giving us the platform. Really, like you said, we don't get to do this at all, really, and it's refreshing. So thank you. You're
welcome, and I really hope that you'll just like, just remember that just because it's not happening now doesn't mean it's not going to happen in the future. So you'll probably have more interviews in the future.
Shit.
You'll probably be popping the heck off, you know? You never know. And with
Manifest
that,
it.
with that, you got to manifest, literally, seriously. I am so grateful. Thanks again to Forest Fires Radio, Ale, and Jason. You guys are the best. Shout out to them. You can follow them on Instagram at Forest Fires Radio, as well as SoundCloud, where you can check out their mixes. They're going to reach their 100 mix, as they mentioned. And again, just a little reminder, they're performing at the Ground November 2nd with Corredor, in tandem with Saturn Sorry, Pero del Futuro. You guys are going to be killing it with that B2B, bringing the bandera colombiana. Sorry, I can't talk.
It's okay.
Yeah, we're coming through with that shit. But this is Victory from FUNRAVER and Friends, aka Vibraciones, setting off. Thank you guys for joining us, and we're gonna be coming through next week with our next guest. Check us out at FUNRAVER on Instagram for our lineup. Peace out.
Thank you.
Woo.